Hey, Brannon Beliso here. It is Friday, June 14th, a day before Father's Day. So happy early Father's Day to all the dads out there. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the West Coast. This is Success Never Sleeps, where we as a collective figure out this thing called life. We are small business owners who want to be happy, who want to have freedom, who want to be profitable, who want to spend time with the people we love. And I've been on vacation. Speaking of those things. And that's what today's show is going to be all about. My summer reflections. And I tend to do that when I change gears. And I did everything from eat good to zip lining to spending time at the beach to sitting on my lanai or patio, just reflecting on who I am today and where I am today and what it took to get me there. And hopefully the different things I've gone through in today's show will help you be inspired to create your version of success. That's why I speak about live your best life. I think we often spend too much time watching people like me, reading too many books because every successful person is using that formula and sharing with you. You must be part of a mastermind. You must read these books. You must do A, B, C, D. Well, maybe that path to success may not be your path to success. There's a little exercise I do at It's Time Live. And we have the next one coming up. Flash it up, Marco. It's Time Live Purpose. That will be coming up November 9th through 12th, right here in Millbrae, California. The 4-day event is what's the most amazing and the most of value. Only 20 school owners, 4 days. We just released it, so get yourself booked now. And one of the things we do, go ahead and put the link in there for them, Marco. One of the things we do is we go on this hike, and we end up in this kids' playground. And that's very intentional because I think adults become dull, they become negative, they become cynical, they become jaded because they forgot they were once children, right? They forgot they were once children. So based upon that, we do a little exercise where we climb to the top of this monkey bar type structure, right? And when we all get to the top, we have to touch the top of it. Boom. And that I define as success. The top of this thing is success. And once we're all up there, sitting there as a group, I say, you notice we all got to the top, and the symbol of success is the pinnacle, the top. But we all took different paths to get there. And as simple as that is, it's a defining moment for many people. One, because I couldn't climb to the top of this play structure for them. Two, they did it with my guidance, but they had to climb up on their own. I just simply led by example. And they got to the top, and it's very empowering. So at some point in this journey, you need to start failing. You need to make mistakes. You need to live with that, because that's what's going to lead to the confidence you have to make decisions to grow your business. Are they always going to be right? No. Are you going to fail? Yes. Are you going to burn through money? Yes. I don't know a single successful person that can tell me they're batting 1,000. There's just no way. Nobody bats 1,000. We all fail. We all succeed. It's all part of the process. No greater, no lesser. Right? My failures are not any greater than my successes. They're all just part of the process. You with me? So think about getting signed up for It's Time Live and understand that in all this that you do, I see so many people, professional students, reading all the time, talking about blogs, talking about this event, that event, this event. Yet they're still unhappy. Yet they're still unbalanced. And yet they haven't achieved that version of success. But make no mistake, I'm a consummate learner. I live from a growth mindset, which is a learning mindset. So I'm constantly learning all the time. But sometimes my best teacher is that 4-year-old kid in the pre-K class. I was teaching yesterday. I only teach on Thursdays. And that was a big to-do, man. There's this one little kid, and his mindset is like freaking Yoda, in the respect that he's always happy, he's always laughing, he's always in the moment. And that's something I aspire to be. I want to laugh, I want to be happy, and I want to be in the moment. Cool? So let's thank our sponsors, Marco. Who do we got? We got Market Muscles, Tucson, My Studio, Kids of Life Skills, LC Accounting. All amazing, amazing products. I use them passionately. I'm aligned with all of them on friendship levels. And I love these people deeply. Tucson, if you're looking for a great martial arts vendor, please look them up. In the world, I know we always want who's the cheapest, who's going to get it to me right away, especially when it comes to belt promotions and things like that. I'm about the long-term relationship, because when an order is jacked up, you want to know you have a go-to with confidence that you could talk to respectfully that's going to fix those things, right? Because nothing's perfect. And then, of course, Market Muscles. Steven Reinstein, to me, he's the Jimi Hendrix of websites. And if you don't know who Jimi Hendrix is, do your math. Because, he's always innovating and he doesn't look at what other people do. He simply innovates based upon a clear set of core values. The next big thing, I will be with Steven in Las Vegas, August 1st through 3rd for probably the biggest dance studio convention out there as we take market muscles to another level. I'm grateful to stand side by side with my brother on stage and present to the dance studio industry the value of websites and how it can impact their dance studios and help grow them. I love it. I love it because a lot of what I've learned, a lot of what I preach, a lot of what I teach is universal. It's not something reserved specifically for the martial arts industry, but the yin to the yang of that is I understand how unique our industry is. And when we kowtow to somebody bigger like the fitness industry because we don't have an identity and, they're a $1 billion industry. Who are we? Blah, blah, blah. We should follow their lead. No, we don't. I think we're a very unique industry. And the more we're willing to make mistakes and go deeper on what we do, deeper on who we are, it's important to me. It's important to me that the more we spend our time failing forward fast, that we as an industry will progress better, quicker, and be able to stand side by side with things like the fitness industry. But my school does not behave like a big box gym. It simply does not. So to market it that way, to treat it that way, I think is ill-fated. I believe that. So I hope I've driven that point home. My studio, always advancing, always advancing, always advancing. And when you're looking at these two products, Market Muscles and My Studio, pay attention to AI. Leveraging AI because it's hip and trendy is one thing. Really understanding the core values of the martial arts industry, the core values of serving people better, the core values that come with that, and leveraging AI to that degree is something I believe both Market Muscles and My Studio are doing. AI is the buzzword. Every freaking marketer out there leveraging AI, to do your audiences that we market to, leveraging AI to be your chatbot, leveraging AI. It's hip, it's trendy, it's a quick fix. But please, when you look at AI, look for companies that truly, truly, truly balance that with a set of core values. They're going to help you position your business to be seen in the best way in the communities that you serve. Cool. And then, of course, Kids Love Life Skills. I believe the one reason why we are where we are consistently year in and year out, right? And the bottom line, if you're not making money in your business, then you need to do things better, is Kids Love Life Skills. That will help you do life skills better in your school. It simply will. I mean, I can't express that enough. Nobody goes to a soccer coach or a baseball coach specifically and says, teach my child focus and discipline and confidence. They will walk into your school and expect it, demand it, and believe that is the core reason why they're bringing their child to you for martial arts instruction. So take a look at Kids Love Life Skills. And then my sister at LC Accounting, I love you. What she does for me in so many ways, I can't even begin to quantify. So I just leave it at, I love you. Right. So let's talk about today. I just got back from vacation and hey, as you come aboard, say hello. I see Bob Poole there from Goals Martial Arts. What's up, Bob? Who else is hanging out there? Every day people reach out to me and say they love the show. They watch the show, but I want to see you here. Stand up and be counted. Monique. Karate for Girls, Bob Poole. Who else is there? And if you have a comment, you have a question, put it in. It doesn't have to be about anything I'm talking about. You might have a burning desire, something you need answered right now. So, my summer reflections, and the reason I think things like vacationing or removing yourself from the proximity of your day-to-day grind, your home, your business, is that it forces the mind to do this, right? The mind shifts gears. Right? The mind shifts gears. And when I'm ziplining half a mile distance, starting at about, 300-400 feet in the air, my mind is not thinking about rotating curriculum. Not at all. Right? So to be in that position, to be sleeping in a foreign space like a hotel room, to be thrown and thrashed in some saltwater waves on the beach, it's not your everyday being on the mat teaching. So those things allow me to really tap into parts of my mind and my thinking that may have been stagnant, that may have been complacent, that are new inspirational ideas that are there. Bob Poole, what's Bob sharing with us? I'm heading down to Hilton Head this week for vacation. Good. Is there anyone in our family that has a school down there that I may be able to visit? If there is, offer that up to Bob. Find that out for him, Marco. So the first thing I realized, and I'm going to take you through a little storytelling. All right. The first time I went to Hawaii, I was, I think, 14 years old, 15 years old. And I had won a trip on a radio station. They gave 3 words, right? Uh, Tiki, Puka, and Coral. And if you put them in the right order, guess what? You won a trip to Hawaii. And I got it right. I just, put it alphabetically. Coral, Puka, Tiki. And I won a trip to Hawaii. And that was cool. My cousins lived there, so I hung out with them. Very economic because I had no money. So I found myself, I had a hotel room. The beach was free, and I ate a lot at my relative's house. And that was pretty much it. The next time I went, I was right on the cusp of starting to really grow my business, but I was still lost, right? I wasn't sure what my purpose was, who I was, and I stayed in a very cheap hotel close to the beach. I was by myself, so I did all this hiking, and it was such a pilgrimage for me to do that. And then I've been to Hawaii. I don't know, at least a half dozen times. We would go every year before the pandemic. We just went last week. And this time to go in the way that I went, um, it's hard to put a word on it without coming down to a base level of just saying it's great to be able to afford to vacation like that. It is. Whatever my kids wanted, they got a lot of shopping, eating well. We went zip lining, and just everything. I mean, to not even look at the price tag of anything is powerful. So money provides us with those opportunities. And I say that passionately from myself in living my best life because I never even asked my mother or father for anything because we were poor. And not only did you knew the answer was going to be no, there was some kind of guilt and shame associated with it. Now, I don't blame them at all. They did the best they could. But no was followed by, what do you think? Money grows on trees? What do you think? We're made of money? And you were made to feel guilty for even asking. So we never asked. And today, pretty much, I don't say no to my kids, my wife, or they do what they do. And I take care of it. And for me personally, in my life journey, I feel very proud to do that. Very, very proud to be able to have it. So that's the one thing. So again, you need to have a business, and that's my point of all this. You need to have a business that's profitable. You need to have a business that you scale and grow to the point where number one, you can take great care of your family, vacations, retirement, college fund, a home, whatever that looks like for you. Okay. Now here's the second component. I would not have been able to go on that vacation without having amazing teams in place running both locations. You with me? And that was headed by TJ Dela Cruz. TJ and his brother Lucas, are the main people running that ship, right? Then of course his mom, Karen Dela Cruz, my sister Michelle. Then our next tier with the instructors, Sifu Bender, Sifu Fiddler, Mr. Moore, Carrie Ann. I could go on and on. The team we have in place that we haven't, and someone spoke about this the other day. You want multiple locations, you're going to pay for it. The challenge is you'll never scale to that level because you're on one location, you're a control freak, you want to make the majority of the money, right? And you're not willing to pay somebody well. But for me, freedom of time cost a lot of money. To have the freedom of time cost a lot of money. Write that down. Write it down. So I find the reasons, your team's going to leave you, open up halfway down the street and take, the majority of your students is because they're doing the bulk of the work. They don't see me. I don't teach in San Francisco. I teach 1 day a week in Millbrae. They are the catalyst. They are delivering the core product. And as Richard Branson said, of Virgin Airlines, Virgin Records, he said, if I take care of my team will take care of the clients. You with me? If I take care of my team will take care of the clients. So I believe that mindset shift needs to happen. That I get at one point people walk around like I'm the master, you're the lowly student. I'm going to upgrade you to the leadership program. You're going to pay me more money. And guess what? You're going to work for free as part of your internship. You're going to teach these classes for free and run birthday parties and buddy days for free. At some point, that behavior needs to stop. It needs to stop. If you're ever going to get people to feel valued, if you're ever going to get people to want to make this their career, then you need to become a company and a leader. You need to become a company and a leader that people want to be part of. Because if they believe in you, if they believe in the mission, if they believe in the purpose, guess what? They're going to stay with you. And if you take care of them well, 401ks, vacation with pay, medical siphons, all of that. Anything a good competitive company would offer in a career package is valuable. And then I think for me, what's really helped a lot is adopting things like Disney. Disney lived and died by this simple statement. What do you think? And that says, I value your input. What do you think? It means I'm curious and I want to know, who you are. What do you think this company should be doing? Because you're in the grind of it every day more than I am. You see things I don't, right? So that's what I got from Disney. And I think it's super, super powerful. Write that one down. What do you think? When somebody asks you a question, my knee-jerk reaction, my automatic reply is, what do you think? Okay. Freedom of time costs money. In order to get that freedom, I need this team. I need this team. Then I need to become a company and the type of leader that people want to be a part of. Okay. Now, beyond that, we had camps going on at both locations, classes going on, birthday parties going on. I think there was staff training going on. If you don't have the systems, then that team can't execute and you won't make money. I mean, none of it's going to matter, right? None of it's going to matter. So I want you to be extremely mindful of that. For me, I found that if I don't write those systems, if I don't create those processes, if anything, it creates a disgruntled employee because I'm disempowering them, right? They're disempowered. See, but I think the thing when it comes to systems, and people are always asking me for mine, and I tell them, no, I will teach you to write the system because I'm not giving you a fish. I'm teaching you to fish. But more than that, I'm having you shift your mindset from being open hand, gimme, 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 feed me. I'm a vampire. And I say that cynically because I witness this every day. And I'm empathetic towards it too, because I feel bad for people like that. But if that mindset doesn't stop, you will never grow. You'll never become that leader. None of it will happen. So if I give you a fish, I feed into that. Because then you come back with your hand open again. Give me another fish. Okay. Give me another fish. That is just simply a habit and a very bad habit. But if I teach you, everything changes. And the systems you write need to be unique to your culture. The systems you write need to promote and fulfill the brand promise. Ours is live your best life. I got a text while I was away from the janitor saying, wow, these bathrooms are really, really dirty. I said, well, I told you that with camp coming and happening. She said, well, they're peeing on the walls. I said, absolutely. But you know what? That was a trigger for me is that the camp team needs to be mindful to clean those bathrooms in between classes, right? We talked about it in team training. I understand after I learned we were a little bit short staffed the first week because people are still coming home from college, much like us, getting that vacation done because my kids have, basketball and soccer camps all summer long, right? All summer long. I want to be mindful of that, really mindful of that. So for me, I understand. I took that information, I put it in the Slack channel, and when I came in on Thursday, those bathrooms were spotless. So we all made adjustments. Instead of being reactive, we were proactive. Write that down. Instead of being reactive, we were proactive. So I didn't get mad at anybody. I didn't go off the handle there going, people can't live their best life. The bathrooms are filthy. And I did share in staff training, and this is important. The bathroom is used more than any other thing in your facility. More people use that bathroom than more people step onto that mat, right? Think about it, between parents and siblings, campers, after schoolers, your staff, your students. More people use that bathroom than are actually on the mat. So I believe, and I do this with all my clients, and we do a video tour. You know what I tell them first? Ask Marco, take me into your bathroom. Take me into your bathroom. That's where we begin. Because I've been into many five-star restaurants, and you go into the bathroom and it looks like shit, and you're like, what a huge disconnect. It's not the little things that matter. It's everything that matters. Write that down. Write that down. I know there's more people sitting there. Please say hi. Tell me the name of your school, the name of your business, where you're tuning in from. Give us a little love. Let me know you're part of this conversation. And if you have questions, comments, post them. Post those comments. Post those questions. Maybe I'll borrow one from Stephen Reinstein's playbook. How about, Marco? Whoever posts the most comments, whoever posts the most questions for the rest of today's show will get a 30-minute consultation with me. There you go. Okay, put it down, and let's see if the Stephen Reinstein effect can have some impact. So I recognize that when I saw that. So that's the next thing I want to share with you. Because after the whole bathroom thing, and it was very kind, it was very loving, was challenging the team to do better. And then it was shared with me. We were a little short staff and we'll be able to do better this week. When I went in yesterday and those bathrooms were clean, the first thing I did was walk into that camp room and share. I said, who cleaned the bathroom? I did. I said, thank you so much. Those bathrooms are 5-star. They look excellent. Boom. So I think that's a big part of leadership. And I want to be very, very passionate about sharing that with you, is that a lot of your staff has never worked a job. And for many schools, they don't have systems in place. They don't have processes in place. So you're literally on the job training in the moment all the time. Like Dave Kovar taught me, be easily in awe. I'm looking for everything they're doing right. It is so easy to climb on a pity pot, as I call it, and fall into the state of negativity, right? Negativity, and do that, and do that. So for me, I want to be very, very mindful that I'm understanding. And there's a great book. This is the one I tell people to read. Take a look at this, please. If I inquire and learn about my business and show people the level of appreciation based upon who they are, and look, it's a very small book. It's a national bestseller. You'd never think it, thunk it. But it's the Thin Book of Appreciative Inquiry. Please read this book, because they're young. They're trying to figure out who they are, and their self-esteem and confidence is still developing. And even though they might have been black belts with you and grew up through your system, they need validation. And if I'm constantly reminding them that nobody's in trouble here, nobody's to blame, because young people will do that, right? Right? They'll lie. Brother and sister get into some situation and go, he did it, she did it. It doesn't make them bad people. It's a knee-jerk reaction because they don't have the confidence yet to say, well, I made this choice and here's why. So if you can validate that process of mistakes with a sense of appreciation, it's powerful. So when I walked into that camp room yesterday and I thanked everybody for these amazing bathrooms, as small as that might have seemed, I'm sure it can be very impactful, especially if you consistently do that again and again and again over time. As Dave Kovar says, be easily in awe. So for those of you coming aboard, put in your name, tell me where you're tuning in from. As we shared, whoever puts the most comments, questions, I don't think we can like here, but does all of those things, we're going to give a winner for a 30-minute consult with me. Okay, so now we've covered freedom of time is expensive and it costs money. Freedom of time can only be expressed or cultivated or manifested by having a great team in place. but I must grow that great team by training them well, showing them a path of advancement, showing them that this is a career, and showing them that it's financially advantageous to them to create whatever lifestyle that might be. My guys own homes. They're both married, the two top guys. One has a baby, so I want to make sure I keep pace with that. And I think one of the big misconceptions we make is we compare a martial arts instructor to a PE teacher, to a personal trainer, or even worse, just an elementary school teacher. So for me, I want to be really, really mindful of that. Okay. And I'd like to know what size the ladder is needed. You can gain access through 24-hour fitness. Now, why is this time sensitive? One of the things that happened when I was in Hawaii is the air conditioner finally went out at one of our locations. It's like a $25,000 to $30,000 project. It's in my lease, so it's got to get done. It's got to get done. But gratefully, again, good bad business planning. You plan for things like this. And we took on that lease 10 years ago. I knew in our negotiations, if that was to ever happen, I knew from doing my research, the average shelf life of an air conditioner is 10 years. I knew that thing wasn't kept up because the owners had changed hands several times on this big property, that odds are at some point I would have to replace that air conditioning unit. So everyone's, people I share this with are going, oh, wow, that's, $25,000, $30,000. That's a lot of money. It's not if you plan for it. I won't tell you what we spent on vacation, but I planned for it. So there was no stress. So I think that's the other component here is when I was in Hawaii, my wife had everything planned out. But the yin to the yang of that, I had planned what my role, what's needed when I'm normally here, right? I knew what my role was. So I made sure I shored that up by doing different tasks, taking care of different things for the team, so I didn't burden them. They were already dealing with the responsibility, and TJ's a great leader, so it was no issue. But fundamentally, they were dealing without my leadership being present. I shared with TJ passionately, I don't want to be called. That's your goal. Don't call me, don't text me, don't share anything. The only person who reached out to me was the freaking janitor, right? Complaining about the PP on the wall. And if that's the only text I got from my business in a week, that's a good day, right? And the janitor didn't know better. But I'll make sure when I do see them, we have that conversation. Please don't do that when I'm away. But I didn't want to do that in the moment because they were frustrated, and I wanted to honor them and show that they are valued, not devaluing them, which would have been very easy to do. I'm away on vacation, blah, 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 blah. I didn't. I was very proactive for them, and I was mindful of that. So I want to make sure that I serve people on that level, right? Just got to make sure this happens, folks. And thank you for your patience. And so that was that next component, right? Everything was set up. The only thing I missed, to be honest with you, my neighbor said, I wish you wouldn't have deliveries from Amazon and stuff when you're away on vacation. And I shared with him that wasn't my intent. Those are subscriptions, right? My monthly coffee, things like that. It wasn't my intent. So, and we bought him something nice back from Hawaii. But even something as basic as that, right? I could have prepared things by making sure I suspended those subscriptions or pushed them out while I was on vacation, made sure there were no Amazon deliveries, all of that. See, so I think that's the other thing is when you do go on vacations, even though I have a great team in place, we have great systems in place, everybody's trained well, that whatever role I have in that machine, that culture, I want to take care of those roles, mitigate them, so I don't add any undue pressure or stress to this team while I'm away, because I want them to perform optimally. I'm going to tell you what they did. We got more bookings for camp. We had more trials come in last week, and it was a good day. It was a really, really good day, or I should say, a great vacation. And we probably would have stayed longer, but my kids have basketball and soccer. So we chose to go here. I'm pretty much back at that point where I'm off all summer long, and that's 3 months. And it's a good space to be in, but it doesn't mean I stop working. And work for me is not work. I'm a creator. I create content. I create systems. I create programs. I'm updating programs, updating systems, updating things. That Kaizen theory of constant improvement is that growth mindset that I live in constantly, constantly. And now sitting on in partnership with Kin Creative, I'm in another business. My relationship with Sam On, with my financial investment. Make no mistake, that's a job. But the benefits I'm reaping are pretty amazing, right? And then now Stephen Reinstein and the project we're doing with getting into the dance studios and promoting our websites. So I'm constantly fulfilling my purpose of live your best life. And that's where this all began. Write that down. What is your purpose statement? Anybody want to share with me? I'm gonna put my glasses on. Does anybody care to share with me? What is your purpose statement? Put it in there. Ralph! I didn't see you there, Ralph. I'm so proud of you, Ralph. You're doing amazing work. All the way over in Switzerland. Black Dragon Martial Arts, Marty and Beth. James, Resilient Martial Arts. From the great Rocky Mountains. So what is your purpose? Put it in. And this is to me uber important. Uber important. Put it in. Because I know you know where I'm going with this. This is the beginning, the middle, and the end. Once I knew my purpose was to live your best life, I had to define what that meant for me, yours, right? My best life, okay? My best life. My best life. I had to define what that looked like: marriage, kids, a home, financial freedom, retirement, college, helping other people, helping my team fulfill their dreams, right? All of that. Never give up. Okay. So let's do with that, right? Let's look at that. Never give up. So I begin with a starting point of never give up. So in Marty and Beth's case, we're never going to give up until we achieve financial freedom. We're never going to give up until we're able to ride our Harleys 7 days a week and travel across the country. We're never going to give up until we build a legacy business that our kids can take over if they choose to. We're never going to give up, until our mortgage payment is paid off on the house. We're never going to give up. You see where I'm going with that? James, to help our community rise above to be their best. Okay. So I want to rise above my own personal shortcomings, failures, whatever that might be. I want to rise above, which is being a better version of yourself. So I create financial freedom for me and my wife. Okay. I want to rise above. So I create this legacy business for Chewy, and your other team. I'm going to create, and see, once I have that, the choices become pretty simple. So I sat with live. Okay. What does living mean? Well, I know what survival looks like. I gotta, watch my back. I gotta get over on you. How do I keep the electricity on? How am I gonna make rent this month? That kind of stuff was just freaking painful, man. Freaking painful. And so for me, I had to know the difference between living and surviving. And I painted that picture. I did a vision board. Do a vision board. Cut a bunch of things out of magazines. I did a thing I was speaking at, and I took Roland Osborne's seminar on that. I still have it. It's a big piece of butcher paper, and on it is drawn all these different goals and desires and wishes, and it's like a vision board. But it's based upon what? Living. It's based upon what? Me, mine, my family, my team, my businesses, right? Yours. I don't know what yours looks like. And then, of course, best. How do I define excellence? What do I think is the best? To me, the best is going on vacation and never, ever, ever having to look at the bill. I love that a lot. Not a little. I love that a lot. And for me, it works really, really well. You with me? It works really, really well. And so as I sat with that, you know, and that last one is life. So, what is the difference between living and life? Can somebody tell me? What is the difference between living and life? Nobody? What is the difference between living and life? Well, I'm going to share you what it means for me. Living is really knowing the difference between surviving and what living is. And then life is something that happens while we're busy making other plans, in the words of John Lennon. Life is good. Life is bad. Life is being in love. Life is getting your heart broke. Life is signing up 10 new students. Life is 10 new students leaving. Life is all of it. And if I'm living and I define what that means for me, yours, and I'm being my best, guess what? Life takes care of itself. You didn't know all that, huh? But it's there for me, and I'm constantly visiting that and defining and refining and refining and refining, right? I am petrified of heights, and I went ziplining because that's life. And I need to do things like that because I understand, even after ziplining, I've gone bungee jumping, I've jumped out of an airplane. I'm still petrified of heights, still. But I'm petrified of life some days. But if I'm living, I know what yours means to me. And best, life is manageable. That air conditioning was very manageable while I'm sitting on a beach in Hawaii. Very manageable. All of that is manageable. See, so that's what I'm sharing with you. Once you have that purpose statement, it allows you to, number one, define what is your freedom. What is freedom to you? I don't want to own a business where I'm a slave to that business. It doesn't make any sense to me. So it's going to cost you money. That's it. It's going to mean you need to learn a new mindset of leadership. You need to learn a new mindset of business structure to create a company that people want to work for. And for my guys, I'll pay any amount for that, any amount. But what I've done strategically is I recognize how far these two schools can go financially. It would mean opening a third and a fourth and a fifth. And I've had that discussion with people like me and Roland Osborne, right? Roland doesn't own multiple schools. He wants to impact the world. So I've developed other revenue streams, right? And now kids love life skills. And now it's time consulting. And now my investments with Sam On. And now my adventure with Kin Creative. And now my investments in Fair Lafette and Drever Management. I mean, it's expanded. And that's all based upon one, living my best life and what that means. Two, I can't do this alone. I need friends, people I love. I need a team. And so there's no amount of monetary value you can put on that. When you know that person will get up at 3 a.m. and come help you at the side of the road, what is that worth to you? What is that worth to have somebody you can call in the middle of the night and cry to? What is that worth? See, so again, that huge mindset shift has really made a difference. Really, I've had people in the industry, please don't tell, my people what you pay them, what you pay your people. I said, well, I think you're hiding something. Stop it. So all this has led up to how, I'm finding myself reflecting. So quick review. Quick review. Let's take a look at that. Freedom of time. That's why I own a business. Freedom of time. But make no mistake, if you're vacillating around 100 students or so, you have a newborn baby. A newborn baby. Say it just like that. Everybody go. Newborn baby. That's what you have. That baby don't care if I'm sick. That baby don't care if I'm tired. That baby don't care if I'm on good mood, bad mood. They don't care. Feed me, change my diaper, hold me because I'm cranky. The band played on. So if you can adopt that mindset, and even though I don't care, Warren Buffett didn't make his billions till he was in his 60s. I'm too old. I can't do it now. I'm going to beat myself up for the 20 years of what I didn't do, what I should have, could have, would have. Stop it. Stop it right now. But if you're around 100 students or less, 7 days a week, 17 hours a day until you achieve your financial goals. Cut all expenses. Stop eating out. Get rid of Starbucks, whatever that is. Stop it. Stop it. If you need to double up at night and get an Uber job, whatever, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do, right? Do what you got to do until you achieve that number. And that's the next part of this. I'm laying on a beach in Hawaii doing what I do because I know my numbers. I know what my financial goals are. That's how I'm able to kick it back and go, okay, well, air conditioner, here we go, right? Save for a rainy day, smart business. Save for a rainy day, smart business. Write that down. Because if you're coming to us at Kin Creative and you're saying to us, I need to run ads right now so I make 10 more students before rent at the end of the month, you're insane. That's a bad business model. You methodically budget for marketing and you work it into your yearly, annual budget. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, right? That's how you do it. And so review, freedom of time, starting with a purpose first, freedom of time. That's why I decided to open a business, right? I don't want to create a job for myself and be a terrible boss, but make no mistake. I ate top ramen and slept on the mat, at the San Francisco location until I achieved that goal. I was vicious. I was committed. I was determined. I persevered, and I didn't go on vacation. I didn't eat out. I didn't do all those things. So I had no excuses. Then once I broke that first mill, by year 7, everything started to go. It started to go because then I recognized, okay, I can't keep this pace alone. I need a team, right systems, become a company, and it's a constant. It'll never end. It'll never end. But the second part of that, having this amazing team, TJ and his brother will succeed me, and I will have a revenue stream until I die, and my family will get it, because they'll pay us off little by little. I'm good with all of that. I'm good with all of that, right? It takes money to make money, but you waste money all the time. You want to make more money right now? Cut your expenses. Cut them. Cut them. And if I assure you go through, use something like Rocket Money, you'll find some BS subscription that you've left sitting there because it's $10 a month and you paid no attention to it. That's only $120 a year. That $120 I could have used to print, a bunch more flyers to give out and get more students. That $120 could have bought more toilet paper. The $120 might have been a part-time janitor once a week. See, I mean, it all depends where your mind is with that. So again, the financial freedom and freedom of time that I buy today is because I have great people and I love them dearly. And I will always keep pace. There was a time I didn't do that well. And it was such a bone of contingency. It was such a negative aspect of our relationships when somebody comes to me and feels like they're devalued and they're underpaid. It's awful. It's awful. And I'm not talking about this entitled, millennial mindset. No way. My guys are great people and they're creative and they have a lot of valued input, and I love them like sons. So why wouldn't I take good care of them? Right? Last night, Seafood Bender said, "I love you, sir," and gave me a hug. How often does that happen with your team? How often? Did I cultivate that? Yes. Was it easy? Have I paid for a lot financially? Yeah, but I'm cool with all that. See, I'm cool with all that. Would you rather have 100% of $50 versus 30% of $1,000? Do the math, right? These people make me a lot of money. I'm going to take good care of them and continue to find ways to take better care of them. Does it eat into my profit? Yeah, of course it does. But they're going to generate more revenue beyond that profit that they're eating into. They will. And then some. And then some. Okay? So, what are our big takeaways today? Put them in there. Put your comments. Put your thoughts. Those of you who hopped on late, really quickly, have a purpose. Understand the value of freedom of time. Understand that team is the machine to give you that freedom of time. Understand I build a company that people want to work for, make their career be a part of. Understand I must empower that team with system, processes, all those things in place. And I should always have the Disney mindset and ask my team, what do you think? If they feel valued, if they feel appreciative, right? Like I said, read this book. Read this book. Appreciative Inquiry. Very short book. Wonderful book. And understand that. Understand that. and empower that team to deliver and fulfill your brand promise based upon systems. And be realistic. Define that. What is living for you? What is yours? What isn't? Right? When my kids take food off my plate, I recognize they still do it. They still freaking do it. Right? My food is not my food. My food is everybody's. But it's such a symbolic metaphor of life, right? I want to build that table. I want to put food on it where people with confidence can feel they can come eat at that table. But they're not in a state of fear where they have to be greedy and hoard that, right? And bring some freaking Tupperware and fill it up and then take it home. No, no, no. They know with confidence they can come to that table and eat their share and then go back to impacting lives and helping fulfill our brand promise of live your best life, and then come back to that table and there'll be an abundance of food. I know it's deep, right? But that's what summer reflection does. When you're heading down a zip line at 400 feet in the air at 40 miles an hour, upside down. You guys see that picture of me upside down? And then last but not least, and I know this might be a little unnerving for some people, and that's okay. I need to speak my heart. I have a very deep faith, and I will use God. For the lack of a better word, you could call it good orderly direction. Even when I didn't understand what faith meant for me, and I was being abused as a child, and we were in poverty and those different things, you know, I've always had this faith. Everything was going to be all right. Everything was going to work out. Everything was going to be okay. I always had that. I always had that, within me. So to this day, it's what carries me. It's what carries me, just like through the pandemic. It was so unknown, right? Nobody knew what was going to happen. Nobody knew how to negotiate that space. But the one thing I knew unequivocally with total confidence was that faith. Dude, and so I just I want you to know that because I know business is built around, you know, things like KPIs and statistics, and it's doggy dog, and it's not personal, it's business. But if I can run a purpose driven business, if I can live a purpose driven life, I have the faith that I'm going to make an unlimited amount of wealth. I am. And by the grace, it's happening all the time. I am personally, I've shared this, I'm at the highest level of wealth I have ever been at. And that's not only monetarily, that's emotionally, that's spiritually, that's mentally. I'm in a place where I feel so blessed with everything going on in my life. So I can't help but to live from mindsets of paying it forward. Pay it forward. I did that in Hawaii, and we were in the food court. And some guy seemed a little disheveled, and I went up to him and said, "Sir, can I buy your breakfast?" And he looked at me very confident and said, "No, I'm good." And I said that I don't want to offend you. So looking for ways to pay it forward. And if you don't have money, give your time. If you don't have time, scholarship somebody in your school, right? And that I learned from my grandmother, who had this little bitty coffee shop. And if I think about it now from a business perspective, I don't know if she made a lot of money. But when you sat at her counter, like they were in that day, right? The counters, whether you could pay or not, she fed you. That blew my mind. Anytime you went to her house, there was always a pot of rice and something on the stove. That blew my mind. But if you look at her, she was a woman of faith. She never lived beyond her means. She didn't need a lot monetarily to be happy. She needed to give back to be happy. She needed to live from her purpose. That was powerful. I mean, I quote my grandmother to this day, and she impacts everything that I do. So you read it a lot. It became trendy. Pay it forward. Pay it forward. The law of attraction. They even had that movie and book, The Secret, right? It's no secret. Be a good person. Be unselfish. Be grateful and give back to people, and you'll see the magic that happens. It's not financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and on a self-development level. You with me? Cool, cool, cool. All right. So what comments do we got in there, Marco? Anything? Nobody gave me some takeaways? I need takeaways. Who's going to win that, Marco? Who's going to win 30 minutes with me today? Who's put the most comments? Who's contributed to this conversation? Who's given me some love? Come on. James Walker is our winner. Thank you, James. How easy was that? James Walker is the big kahuna. You get 30 minutes with me, sir. Get all your questions together, man, and then let me know how that goes. Okay. And we'll set up a time. Just reach out to me personally. So, what do we got coming up? It's Time Live Purpose. It's going to be a great event, November 9th through 12th. Stay 1 day, 2 days, or 4 days. Of course, the 4 days is the one that sells out first. You know, it's 4 days with me. And it is an investment, but we feed you well. We spend 4 intense days together, and you will come out the other side of that a different person. You'll be impacted tremendously. Ask anybody, people on this call, Ralph, James, Beth. Oh, no, Beth hasn't been here yet. Marco, Monique. You know, it's something truly, truly special. And if you got to dig into your piggy bank for it, do so. We do it once a year, 20 people. And then, of course, your teams can come for 2 day or 1 day. Marco will put it in the comments. It is booking up, and we haven't even really released it. But the diehards, the people that see the value in it, they're already booking and reserving their spots. So if you haven't done so and you plan to, do it now. Success is not something you do at the last minute. Success is something you plan for. We have our It's Time group mentoring, and gratefully, people are really benefiting from that. You know, we are you. We are the small school owner. We're in the trenches, different on different levels, right? And my team executes based upon a shared belief system, a shared core values that drive that program. And we will definitely give you more than you can imagine. But I think the big thing with that for me is recognizing that you can't pull punches. You can't make a smoke and mirrors, man. It's work, and we work hard, and it's a lot of freaking work. Not a little, a lot. It's a lot of work to achieve, those goals. Make no mistake, please. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. And I think that reality check, either you're going to recognize, as my mom used to say, poop or get off the pot. Poop or get off the pot, right? Poop or get off the pot. When you recognize what it really takes to create and maintain and scale a successful small business, you may just go get a freaking day job. But I think the misconception that's fed to us by the fly-by-night people that have no track record, don't really own a business, right? It's bankrolled by somebody else. It's a smoke and mirrors illusion, overinflated numbers. They're out to get you. They want the quick fix. They're going to feed into your fear, right? I'm not afraid to tell you I had an air conditioner breakdown that's going to cost me $28,000. I'm not afraid to share that with you. I'm not afraid to tell you I took care of stuff for my team before I left for Hawaii so I didn't burden them more. Well, you make all that money. Can't you pay someone to do that? It's not the point. That is not the point. It's understanding the true mindset of a successful small business owner. There's nothing above me. There's nothing below me. And if I want to be best lead by example, I'm going to clean that toilet if needed when I'm on site. I'm going to grab a vacuum and vacuum up a spot. When I do a Costco run, I'm going to help the team unload that car together. That type of leadership, shoulder by shoulder leadership, to me is powerful. And I'll leave you with that meme. Remember the meme? One guy sitting behind a desk, pointing a finger, cracking a whip. And you got like 5 people, right? Looks like some Egyptian hieroglyphic. And they're pushing this rock. But today's leadership, that leader is not behind the desk. He's right there next to them on the rock, pushing with them on the rock. That is inspirational leadership. Elon Musk works 120 hours a week. Steve Jobs, God rest his soul, worked a lot. It's not work when you're fulfilling your purpose. Cool. So let's thank our sponsors. We got Tucson, Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids Live Life Skills, LC Accounting. Love all of these services. I use all of these services. I am not simply an influencer. Great people, great products, always innovating. Check them out. Check them out. Cool. I am Brannon Beliso. Thank you so much, everybody. To be able to share this with you on a weekly basis, we've done this for close to a decade now, I believe. It's coming up to, is humbling for me, but also a great learning ground. I learned so much about myself, my mission, my purpose, and above that, I get to fulfill it. So thank you so much. I am Brannon Beliso. This is Success Never Sleeps. Until we talk again, what are you going to go out there and do? Live your best life.